Alright, so this is the now fifth episode of Fun with Flag Facts, and this is about a place that is now, well, has been for 100-ish years, since 1924, part of Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador, or rather, in this case of this flag, refers to the what was called the Dominion of Newfoundland. For some reason, Labrador wasn't included in the name. I don't. Last time I checked, I don't think Labrador was ever kind of separate from them, or at least, well, not for a while. Or whatever I'm waffling on about. You get the gist. When you read the references or whatever I put in there and so on and so forth. But yeah, the flag. I mean, yeah, the flag in question. It was used from 1907 to 1949, and of course, in between that, Newfoundland and Labrador, effectively joined with Canada to become a province, and it's as opposed to like a separate, technically separate nation. So as it's sort of not too dissimilar to the whole identity of the Falkland Islands in Argentina, where they feel, neither or basically. And of course, like during World War One, the identity of some countries was weird. You had the whole, apart from the Serbia and the Austria-Hungary thing, and so on and so forth. You had Siam and the Ottoman Empire. That was still a thing for decades afterwards. But Siam, that's now Thailand. Like the King of Siam with Yul Brynner, who was also very good in the Magnificent Seven and the Magnificent Seven Ride Again. I'm not big on westerns, but there's some just like a comfort watch, because he's got greats like Charles Bronson, but genuine people you believe would be in that kind of environment. Like Charles Bronson, maybe even Robert Vaughn to an extent. I think that's kind of the only kind of role where he isn't either conniving or Weasley, and he's good in the beat. He's actually very iconic in the BBC show called Hustle, and which is where the series Real Hustle that used to be on for quite a while came from. But yeah, Labrador. This has been more about the place itself, but as I said, it does include, these episodes do include some history of the places themselves that the flags represent. So Labrador was, I think, its own separate thing for a while, until as far back as 1809. It was part of a place called Lower Canada until it joined with Newfoundland in that year, which had been Newfoundland had been officially recognised as a dominion or province, whatever. I think they still had provinces back then in the late 1500s, which is quite interesting. So that's it for the Dominion of Newfoundland, and I'm going to be moving on to the seventh and final episode of this week, and that's going to be part of a place that used to be. It's going to be put your tongue back in your mouth, King James II. Yeah, that's going to be. Or is it the first? Anyway, yeah, the next one's going to be about a place that was a nation in its own right, as opposed to being annexed by another country and being part of it ever since. So stay tuned for that. It's about Japan. Spoilers. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you in the seventh and final one of this week. Ciao.